personality. Because, like, of course, we've heard a lot about Srila Prabhupada in so many classes, but there's that direct contact that you have with him when you first get in touch with the movement. I think that is the most profound time that he has an impact in someone's life. The first time that his mercy reaches you or us or me in this instance. So, because before I joined the movement, I was basically always thinking that there is something deeper about life, but I never knew what it was. So in my mind, I was always thinking that there's something out here. You know, the world is just not made in a way, in the way that basically I knew up to that point, which was you are born, then you study, and you start working, and you have your family, and eventually you die. You know, that seemed very shallow to me. And so I was very inquisitive, so I was reading a lot of books. So whenever I would read one book, when they would quote some book in the book that I was reading, I would go to search for that book. So in that way, so I was looking from book to book to book, until one day I was listening to one lecture. This lecture was from a book that I had read. The book is called, from a person who had written a book called Be Here Now. So I was reading this book. And then in this book, I read the book, and then I started listening to the person's lectures. So in one of the lectures, he mentioned that, he quoted a verse. He said that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, so he quoted one verse from the Bhagavad Gita. So then, and to me that name Krishna was very familiar. Yeah, it was like as if something that a name that I had had before. So then I went looking for this Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is quoting, because if this person is quoting from the Bhagavad Gita, then this Bhagavad Gita must be a higher level than what he is speaking about. Yeah, because he's quoting from some authority. We all want to be associated with something which is superior. So if this person is quoting from a book, that book, so I went to look for this Bhagavad Gita. But that time I didn't know that, such a book would be available in our bookshops and things like that. So I just wrote on the internet Bhagavad Gita. So it brought me some options. Then I saw there was one version that I downloaded, one version of the Bhagavad Gita. But that version was just talking about what the war was all about, how it came into being. How Juna and the soldiers came into the battlefield. So it was like setting the scene of the Bhagavad Gita, just explaining about what is going on. But it didn't have any verse from Bhagavad Gita. So I kept it there for some time, then eventually I read that setting the scene from this other document that I had downloaded. Then I found it to be very interesting. So then I went again to search for Bhagavad Gita. So then I saw the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So there are so many versions of the Bhagavad Gita, but just because Srila Prabhupada was very precise, he said this is the book as it is, no adulterations. So that is the thing that captured me, because you want the real thing, you don't want something that is contaminated. So I would say that his idea of presenting the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and even calling it like that is something that attracted me. Yeah. So because I thought that I was being connected to something which was real, and like no any contaminations. So I downloaded it, and then I started reading it, So when I was reading it, I was so amazed at, the translations and what Prabhupada was writing in the tablets. I thought that this knowledge was very, very rich, and it was basically something that somehow was familiar to me, but at the same time it was very, I was so amazed at it. Then I was just reading slowly, then I reached chapter 2. So in chapter 2, that verse says, never was there a time when I was born, neither me nor you know of these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So then when I read that verse and the purport, then I was convinced that this is all I was looking for. So I can, that is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It reached me even without ever seeing, at that time I've never seen one devotee in my life. I never knew even at the temple there was something somewhere that people come and congregate and discuss about the Bhagavad Gita. And such a place had been there for many years, more than 50 years ago. So I never knew. So in my mind I was so disturbed that, where will I get something that will really satisfy me? But then you see that the Lord had already answered that quest before I was even born, because the movement started before I was born. Yeah, so like my answer was already, it was already there. Just like the way, even before a child is born, then the way God has created the women in such a way that the child, when the child is born, they cannot eat any other food. But even before they are born, their food is already prepared. How they will survive, it is already prepared for them. So in the same way, before we were born, the many questions that we always have in our lives, then these questions have been answered long before. So I was really in anxiety at that time. But when I came in touch with the Bhagavad Gita, and I never had seen a devotee in my life, just from the internet, just downloading and reading. So then I was convinced that this was what I was looking for. So I would say that the efforts that Prabhupada put in translating the books, that to me was something that attracted me. His mercy flowed to me in that way. So then after reading that verse, and knowing that this was what I was looking for, then now funny thing happened that I was also reading another book side by side. And in this book, they mentioned, the person who I was reading about, it mentioned that he was, at one point in his life, he was going to the Hare Krishna temple. So here I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna is speaking, and this book is telling me about Hare Krishna temple. So I searched for the Hare Krishna temple online. And then I saw Iskcon Mombasa. So I saw Iskcon Mombasa, and Anand Prabhu's number was there. So that is how then I call him and I say, he said, okay, I told him I want to talk to you. He said, about what? So I told him,
I get so many calls.
Yeah, so I know I want to talk to you about God. So it's like, okay, so come tomorrow at this time. And so that is how I came, and the rest is history. But that effort, I would say, that Srila Prabhupada put in the books and giving them the precise name, you might be surprised that some people got attracted to the movement because of just the I was talking to one guy who had came to the temple in Ganjoni, and he went once in a library in Isiolo. He comes from Isiolo. So he was looking for a spiritual book to read. So he told me that when he was looking at in the library, then he got attracted to one of our books. And this book is called The Path of Perfection. So the name of the book attracted him because he says that he remembers one time when he was young, when he was in school, one of his teachers, he used to tell them about, encourage them how you have to perfect your life and how to live your life in such a perfect way that, you are exemplary to others. So when he went to this library, he saw the path of perfection. So, and he had remembered that he was being advised to live a perfect life. So he picked the book. And then after reading the book, then he came to the temple. So even the names, how Prabhupada is naming the books, it is like very precise. He knows exactly what he's doing. If he calls a book, this is called the Path of Perfection, or Bhagavad Gita as it is, or a second chance. There's a devotee in Nigeria, he's from Ghana, I think. Srila Prabhupad, a very senior devotee in Ghana. So he's like the temple president there. So he joined the movement when he saw some devotees in the streets, and they had this book called The Second Chance, because he had an experience with the Yamadutas. And so this book, on the cover of the book, there's the Yamadutas trying to and arguing with the Vishnudutas, and when he saw that, he was like, I saw these people, I saw the Yamadutas, they came to me, who are these people, so the cover of the book and also the name that Prabhupada gives the book, those are like very, very, he was very, very precise. So that is like just the way Anand Prabhu was saying today, that a liberated soul or eternally liberated soul, they know everything. So they know what they are doing. One time also, I read in the book, the biography of Bhaktisiddhanta. So there was a time that devotees were basically condemning him, because whenever he used to invite the British to his place, he used to even give them cigarettes and meat, so people were really condemning him because of this. Then he told the people who were trying to condemn him, he was like, these things that I'm doing, I decided to do like this even before I came here. I had already planned like this, so you can't stop me. So basically they know everything, how they name the books and whatever they do. Sometimes you can question, but actually, because they have a better view of the world and of life in general, the material world, so they know how to attract the fallen conditioned souls, even by their words, even by the pictures that they decide to put in a book. They know how to attract the conditioned souls. So that is my humble glorification for Srila Prabhupada today. So I would like to invite someone else.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, personally, I think my first interaction with Srila Prabhupada would be after I had stayed in Iskcon for over a month. So it sounds weird. I didn't find a book that he had written on the road. I didn't hear his name or anything, but I knew of Hare Krishnas before. So when I came to university, I think late 2015, early 2016, I used to live around the temple, basically like 15 minutes away. So I had one friend who used to live up there, training center in Nairobi. So he used to say that I would consider myself a very good Christian then, the same. So he used to say that these people who live around there, these students who live in this place where, they stay there, chant funny things so that they can get, good facilities and good food and stuff like that. So I never really bought that, but as a curious person, sometimes you want to see how far. Sometimes when we are told, if we had there is a drunk person sleeping by the gate, then at least we want to go and see, so that we look how stupid people can get. So when they are saying there are Africans who have taken up to our Indian religion, then we really want to see, our parents tell us when you go to the big city, people do funny things. So we want to see what people are doing. So I remember coming to the temple once and going away. So then eventually by some arrangement, some of the other ended up coming to the training center. Now I must say what got me interested is not exactly interacting with Srila Prabhupada in person, but rather interacting with people who have interacted with him. I think that is the biggest impact that has happened in my life to this far. I've read the books, he explains everything very well. But then what affects me most is, the people who follow him, the very good devotees that are there, that have interacted with him, or rather interacted with him through the books. The way he has managed to inspire so much faith. For example, when Prabhu in the morning was explaining how he had written far long before that he would like to have 2 temples here. And I think I was speaking with Omkar today that Srila Prabhupada must really be a very inspirational person if he can prophesy that all this is going to happen. It actually happens. So eventually when I came into the center, then I've seen the way he explains the philosophy, for example. So you could see his life from when he began the journey from India, then he went to the US, all the hardship he went through. Then when you also see the way he presents Krishna consciousness, then you can understand very well that this is not an ordinary personality. You see, he's catering for everyone at their own level of understanding. The other day when we were traveling from Nairobi, to a place where we were reading some texts, we were saying that when you come to Krishna consciousness, really, he kind of taps you in slowly. So moving a person from a place where I was coming to see how lost people can get to now that we are practicing going, doing kirtan everywhere, then this guy can think, we say Krishna is the biggest thief. Now we haven't interacted with Krishna really in person, but we have interacted with someone who has interacted with Krishna, and that is Srila Prabhupada, and clearly he has cheated all of us to come here. Philosophy very well. Gradually, as you study, get to realize that there is so much more we need to learn, we need to know every day. It's all thanks to Srila Prabhupada. So every day when I come, rather when I'm in my room or when I'm reading a book, I can't help but think that how selfless, or rather how magnanimous he must have been that he is here today. Sometimes we say people get sick, and we can classify them into 2. Some people know that they are sick, they go to hospital, or rather if it's cancer, you try to fight it from stage 1. But then there are other people who also get sick, but then they never get to know that they are actually sick, so they don't have a fighting chance. So I consider myself that before I met with Srila Prabhupada, you didn't know that you're looking for something. You didn't know that I didn't know personally that I missed this, or rather I needed Krishna consciousness, but he already arranged for that. So for a sick person who doesn't have the knowledge that they are sick, or even if they have the knowledge that they are sick, they didn't have the means to get out of the sickness, someone who arranges means by which you can understand your disease and at the same time provides medicine for it, then there is no way to thank him rather than to pray that somehow or the other can empower us or rather enable us, so that as the days go by, can at least be able to serve in his mission, at least adopt a tinge of his mission, rather assist the devotees who are already serving very well. Srila Prabhupada, the king. Yeah. So I call Pankaj Hari Prabhupada.
So I met Srila Prabhupada through his book, like quite a few of us, yeah. The book was The Science of Self-Realization. And just like Omkara said about the naming of books, yeah. There's a song I read, used to be in our shelves, it belonged to my dad. Someone distributed a book in town, then someone wrote the book, it stayed there. It was there. I grew up seeing that book, but I only came to read it in 2011, okay, when I was quite grown. So I picked that book out of so many books in the shelf, because it was talking about science. It was the science of self-realization. I was interested in science, so it was, I picked it among other books, yeah. Then I read, and my life was changed. And there's this place where Prabhupada said, and there's this quote which goes around, you might or might not have heard it. What will your 3-minute lecture do? What will your 3-minute lecture do? You're talking to book distributors, yeah? What will your 3-minute lecture do to someone? Just give them a book, and it might change their life, yeah? So, and I've been seeing that while I'm in Iskcon. I'd heard it over and over again. But then, I think it's last year when it dawned on me that I'm a victim of that. And it's not a whole book which changed my life. It's a page in the book where, again, as Omkar was talking, he said, it's the reincarnation idea. Never was. We've always been here, and we'll always be here. Yeah? So it was the same thing in SSR. It's a reporter asking, so were we something else in our previous life? Yes. And we keep coming back again as something else? Yes. Those two lines changed me, because sold me completely. I was totally sold out. So I was just reading to finish the book, but I knew this is the person I'm going to follow. So I'll read something here from quotes from different devotees, yeah? This title is, Are You Reading My Books? It's from Adi Shekhar Prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada had the Sankirtan leaders of that time from Bhagavan Zone, a little meeting with them. Yeah. First, he congratulated the devotees for the results, book distribution, and he asked the first question. I think the only question he asked us, and he said, Are you reading my books? Then Prabhupada said, you know, Prabhupada, we don't have much time, we don't have time to read. Then I was near. Prabhupada said, what is the use? I could see he was deeply hurt. It was a major priority. Our life was to be used to investigate this message, these books, these thousands of hours of work. So of course we were distributing, but then Prabhupada was more interested whether we were reading his books. So this morning, when Anand Prabhu was speaking, he made mention how Prabhupada gave us a touchstone. Yeah. He went through so much, put in so many hours to make this touchstone for us, yeah, this philosophy which you can access through his books. He put so much effort to make it. And you see, like Naman
living example of what more than buying the books, gifting people the books, more importantly is to read the books because you can affect more people with the knowledge. Yeah? I'll read one more thing here. So this is from a lecture by Srila Prabhupad in New York, November 29, 1973, for reference. So try to preach this cult, but not that everyone will accept, but even a few percent, 1% of the whole population accept. Just like in the sky, there is one moon only, and there are millions of stars. They are useless. What's the value of millions of stars? But one moon dissipates the whole darkness of night. Similarly, at least those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, each of you become a moon and enlighten the world. Yeah? Importance of reading Prabhupada's books. Yeah? Become one moon. Of course, here he's talking about, don't worry how few we are in Iskcon. Most of the population is outside Iskcon. Yeah? But then I want to take it to a different angle, look at it from Prabhupada's books. Before I read Prabhupada's book, One Science of Self-Realization, I had read so many other books, either by force, in school you have to read a book, there's books recommended for your progressive education. I had read quite a few books, none of those changed my life. And Prabhupada's one book, one page of SSR changed my life completely. So that's one moon. You see, those are millions of stars I encountered with, but none of them had a change. Just one page changed my life. Srila Prabhupad ki.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben. Sorry.
I don't know what to say, but well, I think about
You speak loudly, please.
I'm saying when I think
Bring the
about
mic in hand.
the movement and the impact that Srila Prabhupada has had on my life, sometimes tears come to my eyes because I feel that my life was totally going to a very, very bad situation because I was going against all what had been brought up to me. And the moment that I came into contact with the movement, that was through my brother who was coming from the program in the center. And then I felt that actually there are people who I can come and share with the knowledge that I had always been seeking, because I can say the reason why I joined the movement or why I came to Iskcon was because I was looking for the right association, and I felt that Prabhupada created a movement that people can associate and share like-minded ideas on how to become better in the society, and try to improve their personalities, and also learn a lot about being God conscious and trying to better the society. So just by that fact that Prabhupada made an organization that would steer ahead, a God-conscious society was an impact to me. And sometimes it gets very difficult also in the movement because sometimes you're torn between, whether to follow the spiritual path or to, go out there and, do something totally different. But I always feel that how I led my previous life is not something that I really look forward to. And I'm very grateful to Srila Prabhupad for, bringing up, people in the society who would, be our role models, because you see, we always look up to our senior devotees for guidance. And that is the system that Prabhupada wanted, to have, a disciplic succession all the way from Krishna coming down. And that has really inspired me. And, I always feel that despite all these hardships that, we get while we're in the movement, we should always try to stick to, to what Prabhupada said, and it's going to be the light that shines, our way, despite, sometimes feeling low. So basically, that's what I would say Prabhupada has inspired me to be and to doing this, in my life, basically. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
I want to invite Jai Chaitanya.
Nitya Krishna. Huh? Go, he was calling you. Go.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
So, I feel myself to be very lucky since when I was born, I was in Krishna consciousness movement. Still, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I had some questions. Why to do all these things? Why not to have fun outside and eat anything you want? But then when I started to read the Bhagavad Gita, which my mother told me to read was every day, then those questions which I had would be answered, like Unka Prabhu just said, and Bhakti Bihari Prabhu just said that these books have really answered my questions, and even the prasadam which I have, it's really increased with Bhakti. So I really thank Srila Prabhupada that since birth I'm in this Hare Krishna movement, and I really thank him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhuji.
Everyone, Prabhupada Prasada is kept everyone in movement.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. I can't really pinpoint what exactly. The first time I came in contact with Iskcon, I think it was just by Krishna's arrangement, because I just joined a hostel when I was in first year. I joined a hostel in Ghana, and the room that I was allocated in that hostel, they had like a tradition. So I came today, and tomorrow, the next day they were telling me there's a place that you should go to eat. So it was a rite of passage for every new student who did that hostel. They used to take us to the Hare Krishna temple for the Wednesday and Saturday classes that they give in Nairobi. So basically we were just going there to eat. So we did not even listen for the classes. We usually just came for the last 10 minutes when they are starting the pressure. But so I came to those classes for like 1 year. and then I stopped coming, and I kind of, okay, I was really thinking about it because as I was coming for the classes, I learned about the life of a devotee, and as I compared it to the way I was living at the time, I thought my life needed an improvement. Like, I knew that I needed to change the way I was living my life. So, and I knew that this place, they're offering a kind of lifestyle that I think I might want to follow for my life to go the way I want. But really, when I think about it, what I'm really grateful to Srila Prabhupada for is the kind of completeness that he has offered to us. Like, I was thinking this morning, like, anything connected with Srila Prabhupada, that is the Iskcon movement, even his books, like, they are very complete. Like, I was thinking, there's no place that I have gone where I have found 100% complete knowledge, everything that you need to know. Like, even when I read even one book of Prabhupada, it's like it contains all the information that I need. Just one book, even the small books, they contain all the information that you need. You don't need to read anything else, you don't need to know anything else. Because, so that kind of completeness, even without the books, even just talking to a devotee, like, I've had a lot of friends, but, you know, like, in the hostel I was telling you about, you know, I used to try to discuss with my friends, like, what is this life all about? What should we be doing with my life? But they're like, what do you want to waste time with this? Why do you want to waste time talking about this stuff? You know? So they were just trying to convince me, let's just live. Enjoy life, get drunk and stuff. So, but when I came to Iskcon, like, I found that this is a place where you can just, I found people that you can discuss real issues with. Like, you can talk at length with a devotee about Krishna and about life, about God, like about all the important issues. Because when you go to there, they just want to talk about mundane issues. They want to talk about football, they want to talk about some movie, but when you go to the real stuff, the more important stuff, they don't want to talk about it. They just dismiss it, like maybe they talk about it for 1 minute and dismiss it. But you can talk about it with a devotee, just about Krishna and about God, about the really important stuff. So that is completeness. So right now, when I try to think about my life, like, I don't see myself living away from Iskcon. Like, actually, I think some of you who know me from Nairobi, like, I actually feel pain when I leave the temple. Like, even I just like staying in the temple. And I was glad to be there. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Probably doing highest part of the devotional service.
Yes.
High devotional service in separation.
Come.
So, lovely.
Brian.
Next leader.
Brian.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupad ki jai. So, actually I think the newest around, I feel the newest around because I've not been in the movement for very long. So I cannot tell you much about Srila Prabhupada from the general point of view, but maybe from my own angle, how I know him, because you already know him more than I do. So I also found myself in the movement through Prashad. Campus life tends to get very hard, especially at the end month. If you are given money monthly, even if it's excess for the remaining part of the month. So I used to come to the Iskcon movement for the program, especially the end month time, because at that time there's nothing in the pocket. And you still have to eat. But somehow, even when I came for Prashad, you find that the discussions, the teachings, they were kind of more satisfying. You go back, even if the friends are more interested in the food, you feel that you have gotten something more than what you had come from. So my meeting, Srila Prabhupad, was through a photo. I still remember that photo, a big photo on the wall. Srila Prabhupada sitting. And according to how I had notions or ideas of Indian teachers or Indian gurus, I expected a guru to be like strong man, big beards, maybe closed eyes. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, I think he had his eyes closed. But the way he was, he did not look like a guru. He looked like just an old man who was loved by some few people. I decided to take a picture of him, or maybe a daughter who donated to the temple. So much a big deal for me, but the philosophy itself was kind of nectarian. I loved it. So even in joining the movement, I did not take so much interest in Srila Prabhupada himself, but through association with devotees, you see how they adore Prabhupada, always talking about him. Then one time I go to the temple and I find him sitting. And I'm like, I'm shocking, man. These people having Srila Prabhupada, the man I saw the picture, they are worshiping. So I was like, hey, this one must be a great man. So from there I took some more interest. Why is he such a big deal? So through him I've learned what devotion is, not just devotion, description of devotion or definition, but he's a true devotee. Even just by looking at him right now and listening to one of his commentaries, one of his purports, you can feel that this is not a normal man talking. There's something more to him. The way people around him behave, you can sense this is a very different man. So before that, Bhakti was just a term. Maybe I had not even come across it maybe so much, and even if I had, I would not take any interest in it. But through Prabhupada, I think I've learned what is Bhakti, and I've learned what is a devotee. And I think I can say that that is the most important thing so far I've learned in life, which somehow after learning, wanting to learn more, naturally I've gone down. Most of the people who have come to Iskcon, they say after reading Prabhupada's book, they do not hang and read more books. After coming across Prabhupada, you will stop hankering, calling yourself a seeker, calling yourself a seeker for what? Somehow you find peace, you decide even that seeking I don't want, let me just teach. So right now I think, even if maybe I'm not gotten to the highest point of knowing Prabhupada, but so far, Prabhupada is a great man. Being able to bring that philosophy to people who you already expect will not understand it at a go. Still being tolerant enough to teach them slowly by slowly, and now you can see what the movement has become. I have not seen such greatness anywhere else. The greatest things I knew was maybe Bill Gates and people and such, just because they have money, but coming into contact with someone who can give you something which will clear all your problems, not someone who can give you maybe one donation and then you have to go back to him for another donation. Prabhupada gives you one donation and that donation will be with it for life. We appreciate Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Dennis is speaking.
Let's need a book.
You know, want to speak something? Oh, good.
Even I'm not prepared, Prabhu.
But you have given your religious and that we want to know.
Prepared since you were born.
Yeah. Following God, not what? God, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
cycling. Get a class, but they the temple. And the 2017. So I was given that name, Shima Dennis, so I used to call myself Shima Dennis. So my encounter, I don't really recall much all the encounters myself, the devotees and the vision, Srila Prabhupad, all of that. But all I say is that when I initially came to the temple, I was a very big biofanatic. I was actually given a nickname. Some of you might have heard people calling me Pastor. That's a name I used to defend. I was a very strong Bible defender. So when guys give me a Bhagavad Gita verse and try to convince me otherwise, it was a little bit strange. Because I also remember the first time I entered in the temple. The first time we entered the temple, you see this as strange environment. You see all the devotees of Srila Prabhupad, Nyali, the temple, and then I love the temple, that is. And then you look on the left side, you see the painting or the picture of yes, what's happening here? Are they doing blood sacrifice? What's happening? So that was a strange experience for my first days. So that is, we say, 1 month or 2 months. Then I later cooled down. I was fortunate to meet Prabhu when he was residing in Nairobi, Iskcon time. And a few senior devotees that time. So I learned slowly, became humble, tried to practice this, chanting, struggling, and all that. But I later came to overcome all those challenges and became a follower of Srila Prabhupada. He's a nice guy because all the condemnation he gave all those guys who tried to accuse the Vedic philosophy. Like the conversation we had with those American guys, like the journalists, the scientists, he had very it has on myself, those are very funny experiences. Because one is debating with a scientist. A scientist in the Western society is highly considered a high value person of all. But there is a guy who has just a less of the yellow lesson, trying to debate on the importance of God conscience. Again, he also debated with pastors or the reverends, those kind of things. And you can see all the impact that he had to those guys. Those are the scientists, those who are the guys considered high level at that time and age. But because they know it, that's 25 years ago right now. But see that knowledge up to now is still amazing us. There's no other guy who can right now start from zero and attain all that by preaching and practicing all that. Unless he has a mystical power or he's rewarded by Krishna.
Yes, say. Yes, stop.
Yes, stop.
Everyone, except him.
Hare Krishna. My name is Srila. I'm from Mombasa. So what inspired me to be a part of this movement? I found out that there was...
I have to speak something about Prabhupada. We have PhD also in Prabhupada. Okay, now, okay, good. Tell your experience now.
So I found out that there were Sunday youth classes going on. This was somewhere like late 2017. I found out that there were youth classes going on. I became a part of those youth classes. So we were reciting shlokas from Bhagavad Gita and reading the Prabhupad translations and then like I got to know more about the festivals here like Janmashtami, Ramnami and all that. So yeah, and what else?
Thanks to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, thanks to Srila Prabhupada that I'm a part of this movement and now I enjoy coming here. Like I enjoy taking part in activities here like yesterday Janmashtami. I've been doing plays since 4 years. So I enjoy many festivals here. I learned like a lot of things, like we are the soul, the body, that's, and many more things also. By attending these classes throughout. So thanks to Srila Prabhupad. Prabhupada is
there is no time limit, we are here now.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, I forgot to speak after hearing from you. So, I came to Mumbai, I got a job there. I was living in Mumbai county. And county in India is not a city. Mumbai city itself has a population of 20 million, 1/3 of Kenya. And Mumbai, we have counties, we have states, not a county. And state is 1/3 of Kenya. So I came from far from Mumbai county. I got a job there. So I am vegetarian, from a vegetarian family. So I have to stay in hostel in Mumbai. So I was looking for vegetarian room partners. And that way I was inquiring, then one of my friends told me that some guys staying here, Hare Krishna guys. So you can just ask them and you can connect if you can get a place to stay there. So in Mumbai there are not only temples but also some places up there. It's called base, that in every suburb of the city, the students who follow Hare Krishna, they stay together in one of the apartments. So it becomes easy for them to keep the Krishna consciousness. Then they will give small altar, they will wake up early in the morning. So all the regulative principles as possible they follow. And so it's called base. Like we have one in the Nyali, we have one in the town, so several. So that way I got occupied there. But in India there are several swamis, fake swamis are there, and the intellectual people normally keep safe distance. If you get in influence, you will get diverted by them, and then you will realize that you are cheated. So that's the situation. So I got a place there, but I know this man is very powerful. Srila Prabhupad, and the devotees, they will wash brain. This is what I had heard at that time. So they will wash the brain. So let's keep safe distance. So I used to stay in the base. I eat nice prasadam and sleep well at night.
Keep your mind dirty.
Huh?
You are not wanted to be washed.
Yeah. I was not knowing how much dirt is there. Yeah, I was not knowing.
Most of them they think like we don't want to be washed.
Yeah.
We want to keep whatever we have.
Yeah. So after having that experience, I was very much determined that I will keep safe distance, not get too close and get involved. Very strong determination was there. And then I used to sleep up to 6:30 unless my job calls me, and I just wake up and wash partially and go to office. But as Srila Prabhu said, these realized souls are so powerful, they know everything about the fallen souls. So they have set these programs. So even if you sleep, you were hearing that Mangal Aarti in the morning. Although this art is very hard, it may take time. More it is dirty, more it will take time to melt. But if you get that good, strong association, now that fight is started, the hard heart and the power of devotees. So in the morning, I used to, those Sankirtana gets on my ears every day. And somehow I may have wake up early in the day, I may have attended something. Slowly, then it didn't take time to melt the heart. So that's the power of such a powerful devotees and his shishas, students. So that's why we say, Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prushtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Nami. Krishna Prushtaya Bhutale is such a powerful devotee. He got place in the feet of Lord Krishna. He is very dear to Lord Krishna. If someone is dear to President, how powerful he could be. then if someone is there to Supreme Personality of Godhead, how powerful it could be. So that's the case. So Srila Prabhupada was enjoying his spiritual life in Vrindavana, a holy place, in association with all the devotees. But to give word of he given to his guru, he decided to break that comfort. And in that, 50 years before, he left for USA. Just what is the name of Srila Prabhupada? Abhay Charna. Abhay. He is Abhay. Abhay means fear. Abhay. He is fearless. And that's the quality mentioned in the 16th chapter of Gita, divine and demonic qualities. So first sloka is given divine quality. And very first quality, there are several qualities given, more than 20-25. Very first quality is given as Nirbhaya, fearless. A saint has to be fearless. One who is fearless is a saint. So how fearless was Prabhupada? At the age of 70, we see the situation of people at the age of 60, not at 70. So at the age of 70, he decided to go to USA. 50 years before, there were no facilities, no internet, nothing you can check on internet and look at the good place and how you will travel and how you will, all those things, how you will get facility. It was so difficult time. If you see now at 2020, having so many facilities, everything, still we fear a young man of 30, of age of 30, he is fearing now to go out in Mombasa itself, or Nairobi itself because of the election fear. This is the case for us. A 70-year person, his health situation, there are no facilities. There were not enough flights. At that time, he decided to go to US. While his aim was very different. He was a very completely spiritual person. He detached from everything, staying in Vrindavana with Bhaktas, and he has no intent to get mixed with this material world. And still he decided to go to the highest platform of material world, not highest platform of spiritual world. The USA is the highest platform of material world. Still he decided to go there. That's why we say he is very fearless. Then Srila Prabhupada has gone there. He chosen so many difficulties. He suffered so many difficulties, so hard life there. When he reached there, USA, there was no place to stay for him. Anyhow, he managed to get small place just to sleep with the help of well-wishers. It was so small place, so small room. We don't say a room in a day. It was just a bathroom of the house where you can just sleep. It was so small. He was staying there, and he gone there to preach. Now you imagine that such a small room, which is like a bathroom. Who will come there? And why will someone will come there to hear from him? It is a place where people don't know about bhakti. They may be knowing something about yoga and gymnastics from Indian yoga system, but we are not knowing about what is this bhakti, what is this sankirtana, what is Gita, what is Bhagavata. They even don't understand the language. So why they will come? No, it started with that in that scenario, in that situation. The Prabhupada used to sit in that room, and he has his trunk, and someone comes to hear from him. He was sitting next to the trunk. The trunk itself is his desk. He was sleeping on floor. So it was so difficult situation, and that's why I'm saying why people will come to this place. We have temple. Why people will come here? How? To have prasadam, to have nice darshan. There was no temple, there was no deities. Don't expect much about the prasadam. Why people? Even if we have prasadam in the centers, people choose just go at the time of prasadam, just avoid the lectures and all those things, right? It's the simplest. So there was no big prasadam, no deities. Why people will come? In that difficult situation, we see what is the change. How many people have become devotees. It is because in the Gita, in Prabhupada itself says the reason behind the unstable mind, how unstable our mind is. How many we are here at this moment. How unstable it is. But why it is unstable? Why mind is unstable? because we don't have final aim. We have several aims, several wishes, and our memory is distributed in fulfilling this. We don't have straight aim, so we are mind is disturbed and we are unstable. But when the Guru comes in the life, a real Guru like Srila Prabhupada, who gives you aim, and he knows about the nature of his devotees, his shishyas, so he keeps them directed so they should not get diverted. And that is what happened. In such a difficult situation, Srila Prabhupada has given direction to those materialistic people who are very much engaged in the material things and highly unstable. They don't know what to do after the next 5 years in spiritual life. But with the touch of such a touchstone like Srila Prabhupada, they become so stable that they have left their materialistic life. And these guys, they left eating meat, drugs, illicit sex, all those illicit activities they left, and they become so stable that because they got that highest level of spiritual pleasure. So that's the power of a great saint, Srila Prabhupada. And what has made Srila Prabhupada to remain stable in such a difficult circumstance? Consciousness, pure consciousness, and that all those devotees got that consciousness from Srila Prabhupada, because you can get something from one who has it. And Srila Prabhupada is full of reservoir of the consciousness, so devotees got it. So that's why we respect Srila Prabhupada, direct disciple, how powerful they are. So even the people, when the temples were built there in USA, people come here and then they ask several nonsense questions. Srila Prabhupada used to preach and say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then at the end of lecture he asks devotees some questions, and then people don't answer properly. Then what Srila Prabhupada should do? In such hard circumstances, he is preaching and doing the things, still there is some of the guys are not paying attention. But he can't force them. How can he force them? Just say with a patient, let's see the tolerance of great saint. Just say, just hear attentively, nothing. Just hear attentively, listening. And then when temples were built, still some new devotees come, then they ask the crazy questions. It was same situation. Prabhupada is sitting there and giving lecture. Deities are this side. Srila Prabhupada is facing deities. And someone from audience asked Srila Prabhupada, "Hey Srila Prabhupada, you said about so much about the God. Have you seen God?" Srila Prabhupada says, "I am just looking at God. You are coming between me and God. Please sit down." Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, you said so much about spiritual world. Are there mosquitoes in spiritual world? Srila Prabhupada, see the consciousness of pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada says, even if they are there, they will be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, So still I am praying, every day I am praying that this brainwashing should go on, because a lot of dirt is there that we are realizing every day. Even if we miss one day, it gets accumulated more, and we lack that vision. But we are seeing what we are feeling, how hard this hurt is, that we realize only when we hear from Kirtana from devotees like you, then we realize that what we are missing. So that's the power of devotees and Kirtana and Srila Prabhupada's solution. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. We have to conclude now. Time is about 8 is spoken in morning time and lunch time, but when I heard from all of you, I also become inspired to speak more and more. So I'm very happy to see all of you. Everyone is signing in association of the Srila Prabhupada movement. future all of them, all conditioned soul will resign in association of this moment. Because Srila Prabhupada has given everything to attract all conditioned soul. To all conditioned soul, like Prabhupada has given that beautiful deities, beautiful temple, beautiful books, beautiful prasadam, everything beautiful. So anyone comes in contact with all anything which is related, which is given by Srila Prabhupada, will become attracted. So similarly here, no, that is also very good to speak about personal realization, very nice. You know, when I think about Srila Prabhupada, I meditate about Srila Prabhupada, I hear about Srila Prabhupada, then I become more and more inspired. More and more inspired. Because Srila Prabhupada has given something which is very wonderful. Very wonderful. So when he giving the answer to the people is so expertly, you can't believe how he gives the answers to the people. Though I was listening one time there was one druggist, all the hippies were druggists were taking. He asked Prabhupada. Prabhupada was asking, still you taking LSD? Yes, Prabhupada. Okay. So you know, you must also you take. God, this is a very good experience. For after taking this drugs, you get very nice experience. So if you take, then you see how it is nice. So Srila Prabhupada told, okay. So I told, do you have any experience about eating the stool? Oh, I've never, because this is very obnoxious, very bad smell. How somebody can eat the stool? You know, he said, without tasting, how you can say? He said, so must eat, then you see. How it is. So, similarly, I know the LSD, what is LSD, there is no need of experiencing. He was so expert, giving the answers. So, when pure devotees of the Lord had all the qualities, so 26 qualities of the pure devotees. So, all quality Prabhupada had, he was so expert to deal with everything. So one time Prabhupada went to London, so one journalist, she asked Prabhupada, why you saved? Why you saved? So Prabhupada is given, why you wear skirt? Mini skirt, no, in London they wear the mini skirt. So she becomes confused. They say, I am giving answer. You know, it is better to close the leg, warm the leg, and pull the head. So be safe to keep the head cool and we wear the cloth down to warm the leg. That is best way. So he gave two messages at a time. Two women should cover the body. That is it. Rather than saying, we give an answer to keep the clean, head clean to be peaceful, cool. So we are so expert. So, no, I was from beginning, I was religious and same time very aggressive. So I was going in the temple. Every day I was going to temple. I had so many associations of the sadhus. You know, there were sadhus like India, they also sometimes take the ganja, you know, ganja. And also they worship, they do so many, but I was going every day. And I was serving them. So I was religious from beginning when I went in the college. So I was always thinking, what is this? There was so much, when I was preparing for IIT because my brother wanted to become IAS. You prepare to become IS, the highest government service in India. So, but I was not interested. Then okay, you cannot do that, at least you do the IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, IIT. So okay, so after 12th I went to Lucknow to have the coaching to do the IIT. So there was one friend, is the Brej Ahmad, he was coming, and in the room there was another partner, he was praying for the IIT entrance exam. So they were all studying day and night. I was thinking, what is this? What is this life? Day and night just reading, studying. Then after that, what will be happen? So 6 months I was preparing. After 6 months I just left here. This is just wasting time. So I was not interested much, and then I was thinking about this competition in the world. I was thinking everyone is very competitive. They want to become this, another one wants to become this, another wants to become this. So where is the end? So where will there is the end? So I was confused always there. So means just keep on struggling whole life to compete the people, and there is no ultimate. So I was very confused. Even after finish college, then I did the graduation. Then brother said, okay, if you don't want to do IIT now, then you at least do the MBA. So I came to do the MBA in the Bombay, but I was not interested at all. Somehow I completed my graduation. I was not interested. So then, but I was not interested in competition of anything, because I thought there is no end. It's waste of time. If you want to make the money, there is so many ways to make the money. Not necessary to study whole life. You can make money. There are so many people are making money in so many ways. So I can also make the money. I had the confidence from beginning how to make the money. We can make money without not struggling with so many. There are so many ways to make money. So I was not very competitive from beginning. I was failing with competition. What is this? Each and everyone wants to be ahead of another one, Where is the end? So when I was also associating with so many religious organizations, I was reading the books, but I was not understanding anything. Especially Vivekananda. Books I was reading, I had so many faith when I was studying, I kept his picture. But just going everything from there's only sentiments was there, that's all. But one time when I came to Iskcon, my brother also was going to Iskcon Bombay. I was staying in Lonavala, Lokanwala, it was very near from temple. So brother sometimes was going Sunday, okay, let us go in Hare Krishna. But I was interested to go with him. So one day I went to the sea beach, and then after sea beach, I thought, okay, let us go. I heard there is a temple here. So let us go to see the temple. I went to see the temple. That time there was marathon time, book marathon. I saw so many European, American devotees were distributing the book. I was very attracted with those devotees by looking them. And then when I entered the temple, that was total, my different, I had the different experience in my entire life. Oh, this temple is so beautiful. This is something different. The deities are so beautiful. I was seeing the Prabhupada going so many times around the Prabhupada. This man, how he very, I was thinking, he's just sitting here, he's just living. I was thinking, I was attracted with the deity, Radha's behind temple in Bombay, Prabhupada, temple, devotees, books. I was attracted with everything. Those attractions. Still I have those memories, how everything was very attracted. So then I was thinking what I should do now. So I was going looking the books. So there was one devotee. He was called, now he is Swami. That time he was Brahmachari in Nayan. So I asked him about him. He said, I have done the IIT in civil. So I thought I was preparing for IIT, or this person has completed IIT and is now a monk in temple. So it's very interesting. He was very interesting. His IIT has completed and has come here. So then I was taking so many, like you saying, all the books are very titled, the books are very attractive, pictures are very attractive. So I was looking this book, then after this another book, then the devotee was giving me, okay, this one take, this one take. I was just looking. So then I took one book. It's called Message to Indian Oath. It was written by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. I thought, let me read because I am youth, so what message is there? So, but again, I was not interested to leave the temple. So I was going, so this temple till closed. That temple, I was there. I went around 4:30 and I stayed almost 8:30 in the evening. 4:30 evening, then up to 8:30, then after that temple closed, and that night I then told, okay, you can come anytime to, then between that 6:30, the night then took me, okay, let us go have some prasad. So I went there to take the prasad. The prasad time was over because they gave the prasad at 6 or 5 o'clock. So around 6:30 there was only rice and some pojo was there, green pojo. So I took that prasad and also eaten a lot because that was very tasty. Only rice and pojo I was because that was also a different experience. I eaten a lot. Oh, this is very nice. So eaten the rice and pojo, green pojo, moong dal. Prasad, after that, I took that book. Whole night I read that book. And morning I finished that book. That Message to Indian. At the same time, there are so many letters was given by this Vivekananda Institute to me. Okay, you can now have completed graduation. If you want to join, you can come. So I was very confused. I do the MBA. Get the admission in MBA, I had to go to the Calcutta to join the Belur and Vivekananda. I was thinking they were confused. But after reading the book, I thought this is very interesting. It's very interesting. Then after 15 days, I joined Iskcon. So when I joined Iskcon, that personal experience from Srila Prabhupad. First night, I got the train. I went to offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupad. In the first night, Srila Prabhupada, when I was offering, he put his leg on my head. So that experience I got, and that I never forget. I never forget. Always I think Prabhupada is there. So first, and then second experience I got, when I was preaching in Mira Road. So one day, because in the morning time, in Bombay, they start everything late. So morning after prasadam, we go to take rest. After taking rest, then I wake up around 10, 10:30, sometimes 11, then we prepare ourselves, nice shaving, everything. Then we prepare to go for preaching around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I went to take rest, and then Prabhupada came with a stick in my room. He came in a stick, then he told me, read Srimad Bhagavatam. Read Srimad Bhagavatam in English and go. Maybe I was reading Leela Vita, maybe that thing, maybe what is in my mind, I don't know this. But that live experience, and then go to foreign, he told me. And then I wake up, and then he went out of my room. I wake up, I look Prabhupada in the room, then I open the door, I was looking outside, well, then I came in a realization it was dream. After that, I went to sit down outside Prabhupada. Then immediately I came in my mind, it was a dream, it was not real. That was my experience. Other also I got some dream. But these two dreams I never forget. I never forget. So we all are very fortunate. Then one time, that one devotee given his experience, the Srila Prabhupada. Then I was thinking like that. Then one Srila Prabhupada, one devotee asked from Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we are immature. We are very immature. Now we want to leave the body because Prabhupada body and before he told, I can go any time this moment. So if people have to manage these things. So we are very immature. Prabhupada, when we leave, then how we going to perform our devotional service? It becomes very difficult. The Prabhupada says, don't worry. I will come in your dream and guide you. So it is true. So Prabhupada is guiding so many ways to everyone. Through the ego, in the dream, through the disciple, so many ways. So only the things has to be connected with Srila Prabhupada. Because scripture is predicted about Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has predicted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is predicted. And so many Chaitanya Mangal, there is a prediction that things 300 years back, Lochan Das Thakur has predicted about Srila Prabhupada. There will be one person who will go and preach this cut of Krishna consciousness all over the world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already said, Bharata Bhumi Hoi Janmaya, Janma Sathakar Parupkar. पृथ्वी आछे नगर आदि ग्राम सर्वत्र प्रचार हो गए मोर नाम पृथ्वी आछे नगर आदि ग्राम everywhere in the entire earthly global, each and every town, my name will go. So that time people were thinking, who will do? Because India, that time they cannot think about out of India. Those times they were thinking maybe in Calcutta, maybe some part of India. How it can go everywhere? It's not possible. So one day, Srila Prabhupada, Godbrother, Prabhupada where he was staying, he was staying on ground floor. There was some, this first floor, there was some Sanskrit teaching was going on. Some teacher, his godbrother was teaching the Sanskrit through the scripture, something like that. So when he was teaching this about Chaitanya Charitamrita, so they were, when they read, Prithvi Ache Nagaradigram Samati Prachar Hobe Mohna. So he was teaching to his students, and then he came and Prabhupada was sitting on the Ghaji, the staircase. So when he came, then he asked, no, I was reading about this Chaitanya, this verse. Prithvi Ache Nagaradigram Samati Prachar Hobe Mohna. So, who will do this work? Who will do this work? So he was thinking, may I can, what? He was thinking, I can do, he was thinking in mind, but immediately Srila Prabhupada, even that time Prabhupada was a young man, he said, at least not you. Someone can do, someone will do who is a very humble servant of his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So means what? Prabhupada was knowing this work going to be done from me. That Lord has sent me to do this work. So there is so many amazing, wonderful things are there about Srila Prabhupada. So I was even reading, he said, in the morning I told you there was a devotee, Vasudeva, some Judaic archman. So in Mayapur, there was, I always very much inspired about mercy of Srila Prabhupada by reading, hearing about these pastimes. When Srila Prabhupada once he was giving the lecture on the Lotus building in Mayapur. The first building in Mayapur was Lotus building. He was giving, after giving the class, in the class he told, if somebody wants to go in the spiritual world, there has to be perfect, 100%. No one can enter the spiritual world if they have even pinch of material attachment. Not possible to enter in spiritual world. So devotees after listening this become very disappointed and hopeless. So they start to asking Srila Prabhupada, we are very mature, we have so many material desires, how is this we have no hope, you are saying, only this life we have to go back to Godhead, how is it possible? So, not possible because we have so many material desires. How is it possible to go in spiritual world? Prabhupada said, no, if you are 80% pure, you can go. When 80% you are pure, you can go. Then he came another floor. Then again, this all devotees, the American devotees are very calculated, They start thinking, 80%? Very good. It's not possible. 80% to become pure is not possible. Then start Prabhupada. Say, Prabhupada, you're saying 80% means still we have no chance to go in back to God. It's not possible. So then Prabhupada gave another floor. No, even 60% if somebody pure will go back to God. Then again this devotee start to calculate, how much we have material desire. I can be purified 60%. Not possible. Then when he came on the ground floor, then again they start, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 60% become purified this lifetime. Not possible. Not possible. So we have no hope of going back to God. Prabhupada, even 50% you are pure, you will go back to God. Then this devotee had the question to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, you given the class, no one can go in the spiritual world until unless they are not pure 100%. Now you are saying that 50% pure, then you go to how it is possible? How it is possible? Srila Prabhupada said, if you want to go spiritual world, there is 2 doors in entering the spiritual kingdom. One is from front, one is from the behind. So if you want to go in the front, you have to be clean, 100%. You have to be free from all material desire. Then you can go from front door. But from the behind door, I have the key from behind door. That key, it is always closed, behind door, but that one, that key, that door of the key I have. So if you want to go, even 50% you are pure, I will send to you from behind door, because that key I have. So that is the power of pure devotee. Pure devotee can send anyone, that is called Guru Kripa. In our Hindi verse we say, Guru Meherban, Chela Pahalwan. If the pure devotee of the Lord is a merciful to all you become powerful. And he can do mercy on anyone and everyone. In general, to become pure is not possible. But devotee can send you, if he recommends now this devotee take. He recommends to the Lord, okay, when the Lord, I was telling in lunchtime, Aham Bhakta Paradhina, that the Lord is under control of his pure devotees. So when he said to the Lord, now this devotee, please take him. He cannot ask how I can take, he is not pure, he is doing still so many bad things, there are so many material. Lord never asks, because he is a control by his pure devotee. So that's why we are very fortunate, we have shelter of pure devotee of the Lord. That's why, this American devotee, how became so much inspired from Srila Prabhupada? They was thinking, this man is very old, he is always busy, has no time for sleeping, no time for eating, no time for, always is busy in serving the Lord. How it is? How? That is Prabhupada. Prabhupada 24 hours is How, managing one temple, our life is reduced almost half. We cannot manage even one temple, one devotee. What about the thousands and millions? And that is, and he was old man. Who wants to listen to the old man? Nobody cares the old man. Yeah, this old man. Some culture is there, we respect, but when the old man wants to speak, who wants to listen? Srila Prabhupada had inspired all the young devotees. That was the devotee, the youth, boys and girls, between 17 to 20, 25 years. All they are inspired, or all they were ready to sacrifice his life to please the Srila Prabhupada. So how much Prabhupada was attracted. That's why that Mataji was called Jagat-Tarini Mataji. She was actress, Jagat-Tarini Mataji. She was actress. She told, when we saw the Prabhupada, we were just thinking, we were thinking about Jesus. He's the Jesus. He's the Jesus Christ. So we have that faith. So, we have not seen Prabhupada direct, but when you read his book, when you serve him, you are always connected with Srila Prabhupada. You will get everyday experience from Srila Prabhupada. He's there. He's there. That's why the Murti of Srila Prabhupada is not fiber. We are not serving fiber. He's there. He's there. He's protecting all of us. So we are very fortunate. So only we have to utilize, we have connected, we have to keep ourselves connected with Srila Prabhupada. We become perfect. Through Srila Prabhupada, he will become. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama